Okay, so for question 2, the diagram below shows the graph of y equals to f of x, and it has all those details. Sketch the graph of y equals to f prime x. Okay, so this is one of our graphing transformations that we need to know, okay? How to draw first derivative sketches, okay? So important thing is that when you see horizontal asymptotes, for example, y equals to 3, when we do an f prime x, it is the same as us differentiating this asymptote per se. So it will be a dy dx. So if you dy dx 3, right, you actually get 0. Okay, so that is why, number 1, this horizontal asymptote will be converted to another horizontal asymptote of y equals to 0. Okay, the next thing is that your stationary points, okay, your turning points like 3 and 2, they will actually become x-intercepts. So this will become an x-intercept of 3, 0. Okay, so I'm annotating now so that when I draw my actual graph later, it will be easier. Okay, vertical asymptotes will stay the same. So we will keep this x equals to 1 in mind later. Okay, and as for the intersection at the origin here, we will still keep that for later. Okay, so without further ado, with all this information, let us sketch out this graph. Okay, so certain things will be left behind. For example, my asymptote of x equals to 1. So I'm just going to draw my asymptote. Please use a pencil and ruler, guys, when you are sketching this graph. Okay, so x equals to 1 will be here. From here, we can position our y-axis to be perhaps somewhere over here. Okay, then we will label it as such. And my x-axis, perhaps I will put it somewhere in the middle here. Okay. Okay, note how that I have a horizontal asymptote of y equals to 0. So I'm just going to indicate here y equals to 0. Okay, from here I will take note that I will be intersecting the origin, and I'll also be intersecting 3, 0. Okay, so without further ado, let us sketch out this graph. Okay, so since this graph here, from left to right, it is increasing, right? So this graph, right, is y equals to f of x. F of x is actually increasing at this interval, okay? From wherever this is all the way to the origin. So since it is increasing in this interval, that means the graph that we draw over here will be above the x-axis. Okay, so note how I say the word increasing. F of x is increasing, and therefore our f prime x graph here will be above the x-axis in the same interval. So it will be above x-axis in the sense that, okay, it will be something like this, and it will cut the origin. Okay, so it will be something like this, okay, intersecting the origin here. And then this will be the first part of our graph settled. Okay, after that, we will be looking at this portion of the graph here, okay, the one that I've highlighted with my laser pointer. Do you see that f of x in this case is actually decreasing? Okay, f of x is decreasing. So if f of x is decreasing in this particular interval from 0 to 1, okay, the interval here is 0 and 1 like this. So that means it will be below the x-axis, okay, and it will decrease in the same interval, something like this. Okay, so I've also settled that portion of our sketch there. Let's look at this last portion here. Note how that f of x is actually decreasing again, and it decreases to the stationary point here. So that means our graph below here will be below the x-axis, okay, and it will increase to our stationary point, which has become our x-intercept. So it will increase, okay, to 3, 0, which is roughly somewhere over here, okay, for example. So it will roughly increase to here. Okay, then let's discuss about the last part of the graph. Last part of the graph, it actually increases and tapers off, okay, to the horizontal asymptote. So since it increases in that interval, that means after it is below x-axis, it will stay above x-axis, and it will taper off to our new horizontal asymptote of y equals to 0. Okay, so roughly our graph will look like this. Okay, then it will taper off to my y equals to 0. So this point here will be 3, 0. This will be my completed graph for y equals to f prime of x.